12 indisputable core values of a transformational leader. Now, when we talk about the 12 indisputable core values of a transformational leader, what are we talking about? Now, I'd like you to know that the core value of a transformational leader is like the structure or the pillars upon which you build a transformed leader upon. Without this structure, leadership, transformational leadership, will collapse. It is what I call the structural pillars that bound the essence of a transformational leader together. It is the bedrock upon which you build the legacy of a transformational leader. The 12 indisputable core values of a transformational leader. Now, even though we have 12 core values, but I want to speak about the first two core values, which I consider to be in a class by itself or by themselves, because I believe that the first two core values are the two inseparable sides of a transformational leader. It's like a coin. The first two core value is like a coin. And you know every coin always have the head and the tail. So the two inseparable sides of a transformational leader, which are the first two core values, is like the head and the tail of a transformational leader. And what are the two sides of the coin? On the first side of the coin is reliability. In other words, a leader has to be reliable. Who wants to follow an unreliable leader? Then number two, on the second side or the tail of the transformational leader, the two sides of a coin of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must possess an accurate knowledge of where he is going. That is, he must have precision of his destination, which some people call law of compass or law of navigation. Now, these are the two core values that are inseparable, and I've likened it to the two sides of a coin for a transformational leader. Now, let's talk about each of those core values one after the other. Now, number one is trustworthiness. We are still talking about reliability. A transformational leader must be a reliable and a trustworthy leader. When you see somebody who is parading himself as a leader and you cannot see reliability in that person is not demonstrating trustworthiness. Please, I am begging you, back out from such leaders. They don't have anywhere good to lead you to. A transformational leader must be reliable and he must be trustworthy. And I have decided to choose different synonyms to describe the importance of the trustworthiness of a transformational leader, so that at least one of these synonyms will be able to get to your understanding of the necessity why the person you call your leader or the person you want to aspire to become must possess this trustworthiness. Number one, a leader must be dependable. That is another way to see trustworthiness. He has to be dependable. If you are an aspiring transformational leader and people cannot depend on you, then you are not fit to be called a leader. Another synonym is that a transformational leader must be honest. If a leader is not honest, in fact, there is nothing else about leadership if honesty is out of place. Number 3 is honorable. A transformational leader must be a man or a woman of honor. He must be able to carry himself or herself with dignity. That is very, very important. A transformational leader must be worthy of trust. You see, when you call somebody your leader, it is because you have put your total trust in that person. So anybody who is worthy of your trust then is qualified to be called your leader. But if any man cannot merit your trust, you cannot put your trust on that person, then such a person is not qualified to be called your leader. A transformational leader must be full of integrity. That is another important word. Integrity. There must not be a room for compromise. There must not be a room for sloppiness. It must be full of integrity. Another thing which we have talked about earlier on is that it must be credible. There must be consistency in the transformational leader. It must be consistent. People must be able to see consistency in what you say, in what you do, and in your practice, in your action, in the way you relate with people. There must be consistency. A transformational leader must be authentic. That means you are not just showing people the good side of you. People must also be able to know that you also possess some weakness. And unfortunately, whether you like it or not, people already know your weakness. You may try to hide it, but they know it, they can see it. So you have to be authentic. You have to be, don't live a fake life as a leader. Let people see you for who you are, and let people hold you for what you represent. Let people see you for who you are, and let them hold you for what you represent. Another thing is that a transformational leader must be believable. People must be able to believe what you say. People must be able to hold your word for what it is. You must be believable. People must be able to have confidence in your actions and in your deeds. Another thing is that a transformational leader must be ethical. Don't get involved in dubious attitude. You must be ethical. Another thing is that a transformational leader must be steadfast. You must keep on keeping on. You must hold on to your integrity without losing control of who you are. And of course, a transformational leader must be convincing. You must not confuse people. If you want to be a leader, people must be convinced about your aspiration and your goals. And finally, a transformational leader must be unchanging. Don't be like water that is ice today, or cold tomorrow, or hot another day, or becomes a steam at another time. You are stable. Don't be like water that changes how you can define it. You must be consistent in all that you do. That is the number one core value of a transformational leader. The number two core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must possess precision of destination. You must be precise about where you are going. You must have an accurate knowledge, or you must possess an accurate knowledge and precision of where you are leading your people to. You must not be a confused leader. You must not get to the middle of the way and say, where did we even say we are going in the first place? No. You must be able to have precision of where you are going. In other words, you must have a vision with correctness and definiteness. And how do you achieve this? You achieve this preciseness by being meticulous. In other words, a transformational leader must be detailed oriented. You must be able to know how to move from point A to point B. When you get to point B, what you need to do to get to point C, that is your responsibility. And that is one of your core values as a transformational leader. And like I said, these two first core values are the two inseparable sides of a transformational leader. Trustworthiness and precision of destination are the two inseparable requirements for being a good guide or a leader. The third core value, indisputable core value of a transformational leader, is that a leader must acknowledge the value of being teachable by understanding that he does not know it all. You must acknowledge the value of teachability. You see, you are not the only one teaching people. People also have something to teach you. That is what makes you a credible leader. You don't think you are the only one who knows it all, but you are willing and ready to learn from others. So in that sense, as a transformational leader, you must always have a reference point for every of your action. You must know any action you take, you must know where you got the action from. You must have a reference point. You must seek for counsel before making major life-related decisions. Don't just take decision blindly. Seek counsel, because in the multitude of counsels, there is safety. A transformational leader must check his inner motive when making decisions that affects people's life. You have to check your motive. Why am I making this decision? Is it for my own selfish gain, or is it to enhance the progress of the people that I'm leading? You must check your inner motive. A transformational leader must view life from the Creator's perspective. You know, it is possible when you become somebody in life to even consider the fact that God does not even exist. You may even begin to think that your wisdom, your expertise, your knowledge, your wealth of experience is what has brought you this far. But when you are a transformational leader, you want to keep that in your remembrance, in your mind, that you know that there is a creator somewhere who is the one who is in charge of everything. You are not you are not a leader unto yourself. You are not a leader who is not accountable to man and who is not accountable to God. You must view life from the Creator's perspective. Another thing about a transformational leader is that he must not be presumptuous. You must not assume things. You must verify all things. You have to verify everything that happens in your life, in your leadership, and around your life. And I love this wonderful quote from Andy Stanley, which speaks about the humility of a transformational leader. He said, leaders who don't listen will be surrounded by those who have nothing to say. Because you are not listening, you think you are wise, you are more intelligent than other people. Now, the fourth indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must be self-aware. That is another core value of a transformational leader. Self-awareness. A transformational leader must be open to enough to acknowledge his weakness and shortcomings when necessary. You must be able to know what you are not good at and don't fake it. You must be able to know your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your strengths. You have to be aware, self-aware of your own limitations. You have to be self-aware of your own capability. And you must also demonstrate self-awareness in the Creator's ownership of all things in the universe. The fifth indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must be able to validate his motive or her motives. That is validation of motives. You must be able to validate it, whether it is for you or you are doing things to help and assist other people. So the question a transformational leader must always ask himself is, why am I doing what I'm doing? You need to regularly ask yourself that question. Why am I doing what I am doing? And secondly, you must ask yourself, who am I doing what I'm doing for? Is it for me? Is it for God? Is it for my community? Is it for my nation? Or is it for my team members? You have to regularly purify your motives. You have to regularly check your motives. And I want to emphasize that in everything you do as a transformational leader, your motives matters. And I encourage you to purify your motives in prayer and align it to your original purpose in life. Sometimes we can have garbages in our mind telling us to do something that is not really credible, or that is not really, that will not demonstrate that we are demonstrating enough of integrity. When we come to such a situation, we need to purify our motive or our motives in prayers and align it to the original purpose of our life. The sixth indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must shun unhealthy comparison. You must not start comparing yourself with another friend. Okay, he has got two organization, or he has got 2 companies, so I'm going to register for another company. When you don't obviously have a purpose to fulfill with that third company you are registering, you must shun unhealthy comparison. You must not involve yourself in unhealthy rivalry. You must not engage yourself in unhealthy or vain competition with other men. You must only do things that are consistent with your ability or your natural gifting. Those who compare themselves with others, obviously, are not wise. The seventh indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader must be able to walk alongside others. A transformational leader must be able to walk alongside others. And here are the 3 core responsibilities of a transformational leader. As a transformational leader, you must nurture people. When we say nurturing people, we are talking about you caring for people. That is your number 1 responsibility as a transformational leader. You must nurture people. Number 2, you must equip people. And what do we mean by equipping people? We mean you have to train people so that they also can become competent leaders in their own right. And number 3, you have to empower people. So don't be a leader who does everything by himself. You are the one who will do payroll. You are the one who will buy stationaries in the office. You are the one who will go and buy fuel in the car. No, you don't want to do that to yourself. You have to empower people by delegating authority to them, or not necessarily a lot of authority, but by delegating power to them, so that they also can also function in their own leadership, ability. And when we say you must empower people, it means you are now ready to release people to be themselves, to display their own leadership ability the way they know best. Those are the 3 responsibilities you have as a transformational leader. And transformational leaders do all these 3 things by walking alongside people, not by staying above the people. You are doing it walking alongside people, taking the journey together with them. If you are a transformational leader, you don't have to stay on top of people, or you don't have to be in a class by yourself to demonstrate you are a leader. No, you have to be among people. Like we said earlier on, a leader must be a people person. That is where the core of your responsibility is. Your responsibility is among people. Leaders motivate people. They motivate people to action. That is where your function is as a leader. And you do this by walking alongside them, not staying above them. The 8th core value, indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that as a transformational leader, you must not take credit for your leadership ability or giftedness. I have seen people who take credit for their leadership ability, but you must not do that. You must not be delusional, thinking that your leadership ability or giftedness was primarily your own or for your own selfish end. if you are gifted as a leader, it is not because you want to enrich yourself, or you want people to become your servant, or you want people to be licking your shoe, or to be doing this kind of boss servant relationship. That is not what we are talking about here. In fact, as a leader, what we are teaching you is to become a servant leader. You are serving people. Your role, your responsibility is to serve people, to make people's life better, to add value to people. That is your role as a leader. So you are not taking credit for your leadership ability. That is, you think it is so that you can serve your own selfish end. Instead, you must realize that your leadership ability was given to you to benefit others, and most importantly, to preserve posterity. Now, the next indisputable core value of a transformational leader is that a transformational leader is a source of inspiration. I have said this over and over again. As a transformational leader, you must inspire others. If you can't inspire people, you cannot become a qualified leader. You cannot be a good leader if you cannot inspire people. If you will need some measure of coercion or forceful approach to make people do things, then you are not a leader. As a leader, your source of moving people to action must be through inspiration. A transformational leader is primarily a life giver. You inspire people. You provide inspiration to other people to accomplish great things for themselves, and of course, maybe for you. The life of a transformational leader, I would say, is like a spectacle through which common people can see what is possible in their own life too. And that is what you want to be to people. You want to be like a spectacle so that people can see through you and see what is possible in their own life too. Now let's talk about the 10th core value or indisputable core value of a transformational leader. As a transformational leader, you must crave a modest instead of a luxurious life or a luxurious lifestyle. Watchword for a transformational leader. The watchword for a transformational leader is modesty, contentment, and satisfaction. The watchword, again I repeat, the watchword of a transformational leader is modesty, contentment, and satisfaction. A transformational leader must pursue inner peace above recklessness and extravagant lifestyle. Your inner peace, your inner joy, your inner serenity is more important than all the valuable material resources that is out there. So you must be able to demonstrate modesty in everything that you do. The 11th core value of a transformational leader, or indisputable core value of a transformational leader, is that a transformational leader is adept in evaluating positive criticism from demoralizing criticism. So in other words, you must be able to know how to handle criticism skillfully. And you have to do so by knowing how to evaluate positive criticism from the one that can demoralize you. And I'd like you to listen to this very carefully. It is not all criticism that are bad. Some criticism can help you as a transformational leader to redirect your life when you go wrong. Criticism can help a leader or a transformational leader to take a detour to their ultimate destination. And when you take a detour, it doesn't mean you have missed your way. It only means you are taking another route to get to your destination. That is what a detour is. It doesn't mean a distraction. It just means you are taking another approach to getting to your destination. But however, I will advise that as a transformational leader, when you discover that a criticism is demoralizing to you, you have to ignore such criticism. Now let's talk about the last core value of a transformational leader, which is as a transformational leader, you have to help others to grow in their leadership journey. And that is what we are doing basically in School of Transformational Leadership. We are helping you to grow in your leadership journey. I don't have any doubt in my mind that some of you are going to, in no too distant time, you are going to begin to help to facilitate your own leadership roundtable transformative discussion. But what we are doing first is to help you grow as a leader so that you also can help other people to grow as a leader. The ultimate dream of a transformational leader is to help others become his climbing companion. At the end of this 20 session, for example, every one of you are going to become a certified climbing companion of School of Transformational Leadership. And of course, I'm sure you all know the benefits that awaits you as a certified member. And I know you want to take advantage of those benefits. So that is the ultimate goal of a transformational leader. A transformational leader is not developing you so that he can use you. And that is why we have chosen to use the word a climbing companion. So we are doing it together. We are in the journey together. We are all paying the price together. So the joy of a transformational leader is to help others become his climbing companion, for them to reach the summit of their own calling or vocation in life. That is the joy of every transformational leader, to help others fulfill their calling in life. Then also, helping others grow is only possible when you also are growing as a transformational leader. If you are not experiencing personal growth as a leader, there is no way you can help others to grow. You can only give what you have. You can only give what you have. There is no way you can help people if you are not growing and developing. And the only way to grow as a transformational leader is, of course, through books and through other relevant resource materials. You remember what we talked about when we were talking about Mahatma Gandhi. Even though when he was younger, he was a very shy person, but he learned to overcome his shyness by reading books. So if you want to grow as a leader, you need to cultivate the habit of reading books and other resource material that can help you in your leadership journey. And when you do that, you will be able to give out of what you have unto others, because as a leader, you cannot give what you do not have. Now, in conclusion, the 12 indisputable core values taught in this lesson are the fundamental driving forces of a transformational leader. The good news is that you too can develop these values and excel in your leadership journey by practicing them. So we have come to the end of the fourth lesson, which is the last lesson for the module 1. Next week, by the special grace of God, we will continue with our module 2, which is on effective and efficient leadership. We'll be talking about creative leadership, and we'll also be talking about innovative leadership. Thank you. Do we have any question? If you have question, you can ask your question or put it on the chat so that we can all benefit from it. Do we have question? All right. Thank you very much for listening. To somebody said, thank you very much, sir. I'm also thanking you for paying attention. Question before we close. Do we have questions? It's good to ask questions because that is the proof that you are learning. And by the way, I want to remind us that our reflection paper is due this Saturday. I purposely extended it because I had the mind of taking of these 2 topics before you write the reflection paper. So I've been able to do that. So by Saturday, I want your reflection paper in so that we can grade it. Those who did it or those who do their own very well will have a certificate reading certificate of excellence. It is only who did their reflection paper very well that will receive certificate of excellence. If you did not do your own very well, you will only have certificate of participation. So I want you to take it seriously so that you can have certificate of excellence. I hope I'm cleared with that. Any question? Okay. In the absence of no other question, somebody says, thank you, sir. More wisdom from above, sir. Thank you for thanking me. God bless you too.